tool. So as we have discussed earlier in our theory and lab sessions, that majority of our programs which we are going to implement are based on Lex tool. Lex tool is new to us, so we need to understand Lex properly. So in this lab, we are going to understand the basics of Lex and how to write simple Lex programs. So before I start with the content of Lex, let us first understand what is Lex and why it is used. So, while studying compiler design subject, our focus is on implementing each and every phase of compiler as much as we can. Now, in previous few labs, we understood that compiler of any language or any drivers that we using or any system software we use, they should be their programs must be written in C language because C is the language that is most that can be understood by machine easily, and that's why all the embedded software, also drivers, everything is written in C language itself. So all the programs will be doing in C. Then the question that must come in your mind is why we are using Lex2. So answer is in the previous 3 4 programs we have done earlier. If you can, if you recall the last 3 4 programs that you did, where you had to implement a simple scanner with limited skill sets. It means you didn't include a whole syntax of the entire C language yet. The program of lexical analysis phase scanner that you wrote was a bit complicated and long. So imagine that if you have to write lexical analysis phase for the actual C language or any other language, which should be including all facilities, all the syntaxes, everything, then imagine how complicated your program is going to be. So LAX is a tool which is used for implementing lexical analysis phase. I repeat, LAX is a tool which is used for implementing lexical analysis phase. So, what Lex tool is going to do? You are going to write a very simple, basic, and short program using Lex tool as per its syntax, and you will invoke Lex tool. And Lex tool for you, what it is going to do? It is going to convert your Lex syntaxes to equivalent C program. Yes. So the complicated C program which you have to write now, that task Lex is going to do for you. So why we are going to use lags? We are going to use lags for making your task simpler and for writing lexical analysis phase for you. So again, what is the basic task of lexical analysis phase? We have already discussed this twice. The basic task of lexical analysis phase is to generate valid stream of tokens. Like if you see over here, if the statement is like A is equal to B plus C multiplied by D semicolon, the tokens which you are going to generate in sequence are identifier, assignment operator, identifier, operator, identifier, operator, identifier, semicolon, that is really. So that way tokens are going to be generated. So what Lex is going to do for you? Lex will be generating the lexemes automatically, and depending on regular expressions you have written, tokens are also going to be created easily. So that is what Lex is going to do for you. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So now, Dhatri, is it visible? The next slide is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it is
Okay.
visible.
Okay. Fine. So as we have been just reminding ourselves what we had discussed about tokens, lexemes. We already know what is a lexeme, what is token, and what is pattern. So patterns are the regular expressions or rules we are going to use for mapping lexemes to tokens, and every language has its own fixed set of tokens. Okay, so this is the example we have already discussed. So if we talk about a Lex program, don't worry, you need not to cram this part of the program. This is just example of what a Lex program looks like. So a basic Lex program contains 2 parts: regular expressions, which is heart of a Lex program. You can observe over here in the middle portion, regular expression, later digit star. So like the first part is regular expression and the second part is corresponding program fragments. You can observe over here a call to main, YYLX function, printf statements, and so on. So a basic LAX program consists of 2 major things. The heart of the program is regular expressions and the second is corresponding actions which you are going to perform. So in this lab we are going to learn the syntax, how you will be writing the basic lax tool. See, understand properly, because even in your GTU theory paper, there will be one 7 marks program. Write a lax program for performing this. So lax is there in your theory portion also. Okay. So just a minute. Somehow my before understanding the Lex syntax, any Lex program will have the extension .l or .lex. How Lex is working? Lex is converting your source Lex program to equivalent C program, and by default, the name of equivalent C program is always going to be lex.yy.c. So what it is doing, the lax tool is reading the input stream. The input can be given either through keyboard or from user defined file also. We will see both slowly as we'll be doing lax programs. So it reads the input from the input stream, it partitions the input into whatever actions that you are supposed to perform, and it provides the output to output stream. Again, the output stream can be any, either your terminal, that is monitor, or it can be user given file as well. Okay, fine. So how lax is working? If you see the overview, so this is very important to understand how lax is working. So if you observe over here, lax is a tool. So you write a program, source program. Suppose name of the program is scanner. So scanner.l or scanner.lex. Please consider this L in small case. It is not capital case later. Okay. So you write a lex program. Suppose it is scanner.l or lex. Then you invoke lex tool. We will see the commands also at the end of the program how you are going to invoke it. So lex tool, what lex tool is going to do for you? It will convert this scanner.l to lex.yy.c. So this is a default name, you cannot change it. Whatever is the name of your lex program, the equivalent C program will always have the same name. It is lex.yy.c always. Now see, this is the equivalent C program which you have actually written in the previous labs. So the complicated, long, lengthy C program that you have written, now it is going to be written by lex tool. Now we know how to process a C program, right? What we are going to do is lex.yy.c, we are going to compile cc command. So it will create e.out, that is executable file for us. Now we know how to execute the executable file. We'll give input to the executable file and it will give you output, that is valid string of tokens. Okay. So, So let us understand how lex program should be written. So this is the structure of a lex program. If you observe this structure, the entire lex program is subdivided into 3 parts. The first part is called declaration part or definition section. The second part is called rule action section or transition rules. The third part is called user subroutine function part. The second part, that is the rule action or transition rules, that part is the heart of any Lex program. All 3 parts of Lex program are very important, and any Lex program is always going to be very short and simple. So writing a Lex program is never going to be headache if you have understood the syntax of Lex very properly. So please focus while we are discussing the structure. If you observe, between every 2 sections, we have written 2 percentage signs immediately without any space. It is necessary that this sign should start in first column itself, otherwise it will give you error. These 2 percentage signs indicate the separation of two segments. So as we have 3 segments, there will be 2 separators, as you can observe over here. Okay, fine. Now to understand this, as we have just said, the second section, that is rule action section, means the transition rules section is the heart of the program. To understand the Lex program, we will first see how regular expressions arrays are going to be written so that we can understand the heart of the Lex program. Okay, this is what we have already discussed in theory also, but we'll quickly revise. So we are going to discuss all this after this in detail. So let us see that. So which all operators we are going to discuss over here? So slash, square bracket, negation, question mark, star, this. What is meaning of this slash? So that is used as escape character. What is meaning of escape character? Suppose you want to print a message, hello world slash. You want to actually print slash in your message. You want to actually print percentage sign in your message. Percentages should not be used as operator. Then what you have to do, suppose you want to actually use dollar. Dollar should not be treated as operator. You want to use that in the string. Then how you have to use it? Escape character dollar. Escape character will give you print escape character. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? For printing any of these characters you see here, they are operators and they have special meaning in your Lex program. So if you will print them as a string, they will be used as operator only. If you want to print them as a character, you have to always use escape character with them, not otherwise. Okay. Let us see a few more examples. When you use square bracket is used for indicating range also, and it is indicating the character class also. If you write A, B, C without any space in square bracket, what it means? No, it don't mean the string ABC. It indicates either A or B or C, a single character at a time, but any one from A or B or C. Okay. So suppose you have written A, B in square bracket. What is meaning? It will satisfy either A or B. Both cannot be satisfied. A, B can also not be satisfied. If you write A hyphen Z in square bracket, hyphen is used for indicating range. So when you write A hyphen Z, what it is indicating? It will be satisfying again a single character. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? In range, a single character is going to be satisfied, including A to A, Z, and all small case letter between A to Z. Now see, observe over here, minus plus 0 to 9. So see, this indicates either minus will be satisfied or plus will be satisfied, or any digit between 0 to 9 will be satisfied. If you see over here, see A to Z, small a to Z, capital A to Z, and you have caret sign before. So if you ignore caret side, suppose you didn't have caret side, you had A to Z only. What is meaning? It is going to satisfy either small case letter or capital case letter, not both, not multiple character. A single character which is either small case or capital case. When you add caret to it, what is the meaning? Negation. Means it is going to satisfy any character which is not a letter, not a character. Means it can satisfy special character, digit, anything, but which is not between A to Z or capital A to Z. Are you getting this? This is very powerful. Negating your regular expression, satisfying anything which is not this. Okay, you'll see with example of this with example also. So now a very powerful RE dot dot. What is meaning of dot? Dot is a character or regular expression which is going to satisfy every character other than new line. Any character, any and every character other than new line is going to be satisfying this RE dot. So if you want to generalize anything, do this in any case or default case, dot should be used. In all our program, we are going to use dot as the last option, default RE. When none of the regular expression is satisfied, what should be done? In that default case, dot we are going to use. So please mind well, dot will satisfy any special character, any small capital case character, even any digit also. Single, if you want multiple, then you should be using plus or star. Single occurrence of any character, digit or operator or anything will be satisfied. Only new line, even space will be satisfied. Only new line will not be satisfied by dot. Similarly, if you see this RE slash 40 hyphen slash 176, it matches all printable characters in ASCII character set. See, this is also very powerful. Okay, fine. Now these are the operators we have already discussed. What is question mark operator? As we have discussed in theory, a question mark means either 0 or 1 occurrence. So a question mark means either you have epsilon, that is null, or you have single occurrence of a. What is asterisk operator, star operator? 0 or more occurrences. So either epsilon means null string or a single occurrence of a, or AA, triple A, 4 occurrences of a, and so on. What is meaning of plus? 1 or more occurrences, right? So here null is not possible. The first character possible is A, then AA, triple A, 4A, and so on. We have already seen examples of this, right? Suppose you have regular expression A, B, question mark C. Question mark will be applied to only B. It won't be applied to A, B both. It will only be applied to B. So what all string it will satisfy? If it is 0 occurrence of B, then AC. If it is 1 occurrence of B, then A, B, C. If you write A to Z, small case A to Z plus what it means, see what is meaning of plus, one or more occurrence means null string is never going to be satisfied this by this. So this will generate all the strings with small case later. Let us say hello in small case, it will be satisfied by this. A, B, C in small case, it will be satisfied by this. Now observe this string. At the first location, you can have either small letter or capital letter. But second location onwards, you can have any small case, capital case letter or digit, it is allowed, and multiple occurrence of it. Star. Are you getting this? So all alphanumeric strings can be generated which begins with an alphabet always. Okay. These are just examples. More we are going to do with our programs. Okay. So, what is the level of precedence? The highest precedence is given to nil closures. Means star, question mark, and plus we have the highest precedence. The next is concatenation, and last is or. That is used with pipeline character. Suppose you have string like this. What is the first character operator applied? Star is applied to A, then star is applied to D. You observe here. I have given the precedence with the help of brackets here. Then A star is concatenated with B and C is concatenated with D star. Concatenation is done next. You can observe here. And finally OR is applied between these two segments. Are you getting this? This is the precedence level that you have to consider. Now, if you see these primitives, pattern matching primitives, then dot will be set. We have already discussed this. Dot will be satisfying any character other than new line. Slash n will be satisfying new line. Star will be considering zero or more occurrences. Plus will be considering one or more occurrences. Question mark will consider zero or one occurrence. The caret will be indicating negation. Dollar will indicate end of line. A pipeline B, it is the meaning is A or B. A B in round bracket plus. It means that the AB is considered as a string and multiple occurrence of AB. When you use round bracket, it is not class. So it will be satisfying the single occurrence of AB and multiple occurrences of AB. So AB, 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 like that. Okay. But if you write it like square bracket AB, then either A or B, which is equivalent to this. See, this and this both are equivalent. This is very interesting. A in curly brackets 3. Exactly 3 occurrences of A will be satisfied by this. A. A plus B in quotations. It is exactly the string A plus B that will be satisfied by it. So these are just examples you can use for creating arrays. Now this is very powerful. Please understand properly. We are discussing Lex its own variables of Lex library. Okay. Not redefine the meaning of these variables. They will contain specific content only by default defined by Lex. The first Lex defined and very useful variable is y by text. Y by text. What is purpose of y by text variable? It is going to store current lexeme. Okay. So this is going to suppose you are processing a file hello world and the first word that you used is hello. It is the current lexeme. Then hello will be stored in y by text. What is y by leng? Y by length for length. So y by length will return you length of current lexeme. Suppose your y by text contains hello string current lexeme, that is hello. Then its length in numeric value that will be stored in y by length. What is y by in? What is y by out? Y by in and y by out are file pointers, and by default y by in will be pointing to stdin and y by out will be pointing to std out. So if you don't redirect them, y by in will be pointing to keyboard and y by out will be pointing to terminal or monitor. If you want that input should be read from a file, y by in should be redirected to that particular file. You will see such programs ahead, and y by out will be redirected to specific file. Please don't skip future lab turns, because in labs there are so many new things we are going to learn. And if you just read, you won't understand. But if you'll attend the lab for 10-15 minutes, whatever is required, we are definitely sure we are going to add some value to those minutes. So please don't skip the lab turns. Do come online for your lab turns for listening to instructions that we have to give. Okay, let us see use of few of the variables. Suppose I have written statement like this in the second section. A to Z plus means all the strings which satisfies this. For example, hello in small case letter HELLO, that will be satisfied by these array. H is a character, small case character, yes. Then E, then O, multiple occurrence. So they will be satisfied here. What you should do if it is satisfied, that is action we are going to write in the program after that. What is action we have written here? Printf percentage s y by text. So what this y by text will have? While processing your program, whatever is the current text, suppose it is hello, then it will be stored in y by text by default by lex. You need not to worry about how hello is stored in y by text. It is done by default. So when you write this, it is going to print the current lexemes. For example, hello. Similarly, for this, see y by length, you can use for considering length and manipulating the length and so on. We are going to do this program also ahead. We'll discuss as and when it is required. These are the system defined, length defined variables which we can use for our purposes. These are very, very useful functions. Again, these are library routines, lex library functions. Like we had printf, scanf functions, which are C library functions, we have sort and lex library functions also. And they are very useful in each and every program we are going to use them. Okay, the first and very useful program without which you won't write a single program of lex is y by lex. We are always going to call y by lex function out from main. What your y by lex function is going to do is going to generate lexemes, and it is map those lexemes to appropriate tokens as per the instructions you have written. So most of your work is going to be done by this y by lex function on its own without you instructing it anything which you had to do explicitly in your C program earlier. That is why we have done 3-4 labs earlier in C, so you can understand complexity. Y by more. Y by more is a function which is returning you next token. What is next token in sequence? Y by less in bracket n. Suppose y by less 3 retains the first 10 characters in y by text. If suppose you want to use the part of a lexeme, current lexeme, then you can use y by less with appropriate number. This is very, very important function by wrap. It is called by lex function. Sequence is like main will call by lex, and by inside by lex by default by wrap function is going to be called. What is purpose of by wrap? By wrap function keeps on checking whether you have reached to end of the file or not, so that you can stop reading input. As and when you will reach to end of the file, whether it is keyboard or it is user given file, as soon as you reach to end of the file, wrap function will return 1. So call of wrap won't be done by you. It is done by default by lex function. But we will be writing the body of this function in declaration. We'll see with the function later. This is what we already discussed: y by tags, y by length, y by in, y by out, and okay, so this is what we haven't discussed. We'll see this echo. Echo is used for printing, echoing back the current lexeme, matched string. Reject, it is used for going to the next rule, rejecting the current rule, current array, current pattern. Initial, it is initial start condition, and begin, condition switch start condition. We'll see all this as we'll be doing more programs ahead. How you are going to execute lex program? Suppose the name of the lex program is scanner.l. So the first command that you have to see for executing lex command, you have to use Linux environment, and for that you have to download certain packages. We will be providing the information of that packages also in the classroom. So unless and until you have that available, you won't be able to execute the lex program. So once those packages are available, what you have to do? Command is lex. So writing lex, it will invoke your lex tool, space name of the file .l or .lex, whatever you have. If your lex program don't have any error, then lex.yy.c file will be created in your current. It will be created in your current directory. Okay, so that will be created in your current directory if it don't have any error. But if it has any error, then it will show you errors. So if you get any error after this command, you have to go back to your scanner.l or scanner.lex program and correct those errors. After correcting the errors, once again execute the same command unless and until you have no errors. So once you have successfully completed this, in your directory you will have this file lex.yy.c. Whatever is the name of your lex file, by default output that is created by lex will be lex.yy.c only, and you cannot rename it. You should rename it. Okay, fine. What is the next command that you need to do? Compile that lex file. So cc gccc, whatever you do, lex.yy.c. Okay. Now, if it generates any error, the meaning is your equivalent C program has error. You cannot correct those errors in the lex.yy.c file because that is not the file created by you. That is file which is created by lex2. So what should be done? You need to go back to the lex file scanner.l and find out what is wrong with your lex program. So even if your compilation is showing you error, the error correction should be done in lex program only. You are not going to touch your lex.row. Even you can open that file, that is possible with the auditor, but you should not be changing that. You are going to make changes, corresponding changes in your scanner.l file, your source program lex file only. Once your compilation shows no error, in that case only you can execute. So ./a.out and provide whatever input you have to give, whether from input file or keyboard or whatever you need to do that. So you'll be able to get the output. Now these are 4 programs you are supposed to execute today. The first program is write a lex program to check given input symbol is number or character. Input will be given from keyboard, output should be printed on monitor. We will see this program after this slide, so you can understand easily the syntax of lex program. Second program that you have to do today is write a lex program to check whether input is multi-digit number or string. Now this program is extension of this program. So if you can do first program, you can do second also. Write a lex program to check whether the inputted character is vowel or not. AEIOU. This is again extension of the first program only. If you can do first program, you can do this also. Write a lex program to check whether a word starts with vowel or not. Word. This is extension of program 1 plus 3. So if you can do 1, you can do 3 also. If you can do 1 and 3, you can do 4 also. So as I said, lex programs are very simple. Let us see how you will be writing the first program. Okay, so this is the first program. You can see over here again, just like C, you can have comments here, multi-line comment or single line comments. Both are same like C as you have done. See, there are 3 sections. So here you have the end of the first section, and here you have the end of the second section. Okay, now see, observe the first section. In the first section, there are 2 parts. The first part is this. You can observe over here. In the first part, everything is written inside. Please focus here properly. The first part is divided into 2 parts. First section is divided into 2 parts. The first part will contain percentage opening curly bracket, percentage closing curly bracket. Everything you write inside percentage opening curly bracket and percentage closing curly bracket is going to be as it is copied to your lex.yy.c file. I repeat, everything that you write between the percentage opening curly bracket and percentage closing curly bracket is going to be copied as it is to your output, that is lex.yy.c file. So what all you will write here? All the header files you require in your equivalent C program, your scanner program, like stdio.h, if you have written string function, math functions. So all those header files should be included, whatever you will require. So right now I require 2, so I have included stdio.h and lib.h. Suppose you are calculating total number of spaces or total number of new commands or new line characters, then you may require some global variables. So those global variables should also be declared here. We will see such programs also, because those variables need to be accessed in equivalent lex.yy.c file. Don't worry if you don't understand everything at once. We are going to perform lot many programs of lex and you will understand them properly. Okay, second part of the first section is this, where you can give pseudo name to your RE. Right now, to make the program simple, we haven't done that. But suppose this is your RE 0 to 9. It can be given a name digit. So every time you have to use this RE, you can invoke that by the name digit without writing 0 to 9. So giving name to regular expression is possible, but that should be done in the first section outside this part. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So the first section, which is declaration or definition section, has two parts. In the first part, everything is written between percentage opening curly bracket, percentage closing curly bracket. That is including header files, declaring global variables, and everything that you want to copy to equivalent lex.yy.c file. The second part of declaration section includes renaming your regular expression by a pseudonym. What is the next section? The next section is the heart of the Lex program, that is RE action section. So you will write regular expression and what action you want to execute if that RE is satisfied. Okay, so what you are going to do here, your program is check whether the input is digit or character. So if it is how digit RE for digit should be written. Digit, I didn't say multi-digit number, single digit. So 0 to 9 in square bracket. If it is satisfied, what you have to do by your program, just print it on the screen. It is a digit. So I will just have print F digit. That's it. So see, observe, your RE must start from the first column itself, otherwise you will get error. See, it is compulsory. This must start, this everything must start from the first column. You cannot have space before that. Then RE, then space. After space, write down the valid C statement. So that is printf digit. Suppose you want to print three messages. If this particular RE is satisfied, 0 to 9 is satisfied. If it is a digit, you want to do three things. Then all those three C statements you need to write in curly bracket. If it is a single statement like we have here, you can write without curly bracket. But if you want multiple statements, they should be written in curly bracket compulsory. You will see such program also ahead. To make it simple, we haven't included here. Suppose you want character. Character can be single character, can be small case letter also, capital case letter also. So the RE for that will be A to Z, capital A to Z. Please don't have space between them, otherwise it will satisfy space also as a character. So write A to Z, capital A to Z in square bracket, then space. Printf character. Now suppose a character that you have entered is neither a digit or character, then what should be done? So this is a default case, do nothing. So what I have done here, dot space semicolon, means in that case do nothing. If you want to include that, this your output, in case of invalid input, your output will be garbage. So always have a default case, always. So dot means if it is not satisfying this or this, then what you have to do nothing, print nothing. Okay, then end of this section. Now what you are going to do in main, integer main. As we are going to work with Linux environment, we won't have void main, integer main. You can have a single line comment here. Now the default action, we don't need to use user defined files here, so redirection or declaration of variable is not needed here. So we'll directly call yylex function over here. Okay, so yylex without any arguments passed, then return 0 full stop. As we have said earlier, yylex itself is calling ywrap function to check whether we have reached to end of the file or not. Ywrap should not be explicitly called, but you need to provide the body of ywrap, otherwise you will get error. So declaration is given at the end outside main, integer ywrap, and simply write return 1. So whenever end of the file will be reached, it will be returning you 1. So how your program will work? Suppose you will first of all invoke lax, then you will compile, and then you will execute. What will happen? It will wait for you to enter something from the keyboard. Okay. So suppose I entered A in small case later. Then what your program will do? A will be, I will be able to enter because of this call of yylex function. Now yylex function will get the value A and it will throw it in the second section. It will call, from the second section it will see the first array is satisfying A, no. It means A is satisfying first array, no. A is satisfying second array, yes. So what action should be executed? Print is a character. So first output it will print as, just besides A it will print character. Then it will wait for you to enter the next thing. So suppose I will enter, let us say 7. So again what it will do, whatever you have entered, it will. Suppose you have given some name, pseudo name, then it will go to the first section, match to the RE and execute it. Okay, we will see that also here. So right now it is 7, so this will satisfy. So what action should be performed? Digit will be printed. So what Lex is going to do? It will keep on generating Lexins and keep on throwing them in this section to see whether it is matching RE or not. And whatever RE is matched, appropriate action will be executed. Suppose you have entered dollar, then it won't satisfy this also, it won't satisfy this also, and finally it will satisfy dot. So what should be done? Do nothing. So nothing will be printed. It will keep doing that until you will have escape. So in that case, it will come to know it is end of the file, and hence it will stop execute. Okay, so this is how this program is going to work. So while X will keep on taking input from you, keep throwing in the second section. As and when it requires declaration definition, it will go to first section. Otherwise, keep on executing. Whatever array is satisfied, appropriate actions you have specified will be executed. So that is as simple as it is. So it will be out as an output. It will generate equivalent C file, and if you compile and execute that C file, then it is going to generate the equivalent tokens. So this is the first program. What was our second program? If you see, second program was check whether input is multi-digit or the string. So simple change you have to do over here is plus should be added here and plus should be added here. Say it will be 0 to 9 plus and it will be A to Z plus, simple. So here you have to print multi-digit number. Here you have to print it as a string. That's it, nothing, no other change. The third is write a Lex program to check whether input character is vowel or not. So eliminate the digit, this particular line, it won't be needed. And instead of A to Z, what you have to write? A, E, I, O, U without hyphen. So any single character will be satisfied, and only between A, E, I, O, U, no other character will be satisfied. So A, E, I, O, U and print here vowel, simple. And finally this will be as it is, do nothing. For anything which is not A, E, I, O, U, do nothing. So that will be your third program. And what, write a program that starts with vowel. Then what you are going to do, simple. See, starts with vowel. So this string will be as it is, word. So it will be multi-digit number or multi-digit character. So this will be as it is, appended with plus. And before that, you should have one more character class which will contain A, E, I, O, U. So start A, E, I, O, U in square bracket, and in the second square bracket immediately write small a to z, capital A to z, and print the word starts with vowel. Once again, dot, do nothing. So if the word is not starting with vowel, you will do nothing. So that is simple. These 4 programs you will have to do today, and please, a humble request, don't Google for the code, because the code will be easily available. But once you will Google, you won't write on your own. It is possible that for very first time, when you will write a Lex program, you will make many mistakes. But that is needed. Unless and until you will make mistakes, you won't learn. So please write the programs on your own only. If you get any query or doubt, then please ask us. For entire duration of 2 hours. Me and Dhadri madam will be online for solving your queries. You may come online back and ask us questions. You can take screenshot and send that in mail or on WhatsApp or by whatever mode you are comfortable with. You can